Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Wanted to bring y'all some content while I'm preparing for the 2025 Player Development Summit that will be here in Kansas City, May 29th through the 31st. And today we're going to talk about 4 areas where you can create impact in your community. Those areas are children, environment, health, and hunger. And these 4 were 4 I used when I was in the role at Houston, Kansas, and Baylor in the Beyond the Field program I ran there. So when we use children, we really focus on the education aspect. So that's getting with the local school districts. You got your local Boys and Girls Club, Big Brothers and Sisters, but we really did a lot in the school districts. And what we did was we reached out. I always wanted to create a 5-mile radius because Houston was big. We were everywhere. We were in Humble, and we were on the east side, the northwest side. We were in Cypress. We were everywhere. And so you want to start with a 5-mile radius of serving the city. So we're in the city of Houston. So we had Houston ISD, or Houston Independent School District, that we wanted to serve first. And what happened was we actually were able to serve a local school there in the 3rd Ward community, a school that opened up, I think, the first elementary school for the Black citizens of Houston. So we were able to serve them because, you know, there was possible talking about getting clothes, different things like that. And so we went there, served them weekly. But when in that children aspect of the impact you can create, there's like education. One thing we did that was pretty cool is like we got to spend time at the YMCA. We literally rotated our position groups there. We spent time with the young men there talking about football, but you can really drive home a lot of things. When I was at Kansas, we had a partnership with a local middle school, Billy Mills Middle School, where we did mentorships weekly, right? We were there for their state test pep rally. So there's a lot you can do in that. When you focus on children, it really, a lot of what we did is education. Now, we look at environment's a big one, right? You're looking more at the sustainability. How can we help clean up the campus? How can we create things on campus? How can we help our environment? One thing that we did is always lean, as I got older and was in the role a little longer. Like I said, I was at Houston, Kansas, and Baylor. At Kansas, I ran into a player named Sam Burt who was really big on the environment. And we learned about different things that we can do in our own building. So many times we're like, hey, how can we create impact in the community? We definitely want to create impact in the community. But we were able to start it in our building, and then it went out. And when you start things in your building, it can spread out to the community. So what Sam realized was like, hey, you know, the D-line has to drink 2 bottles of water or Gatorade every time before practice to get hydrated. We throw them in the trash can. He was like, we don't have a recycling bin. So then we start getting recycling bins around our facility. And then you start thinking people looking like, hey, do we have recycling bins in the stadium? And then you go to schools and you talk to schools about it, or we're telling kids like the importance of recycling. So that environmental piece is huge. There's campus cleanups. We did a campus cleanup when I was at the University of Houston, helping out the 3rd Ward. Every community, there's community cleanups. We did those as well. So you want to help the environment. There's a lot of people doing that work, and you can help there. Another area you can help, another area where you can create some community impact is health. Yes, the health of your community. Now, this is one where, you know, it could be, I know people have done breast cancer awareness drives. People have done diabetes drives. People have done wellness walks, things like that. One thing that was pretty cool at the University of Houston we did was there was a organization called Bounce, and they had a grant where they were helping with childhood obesity in the city of Houston. And so they wanted our players to come out. They reached out to me and said, hey, we're doing some stuff with stretching. We're doing some movement. We really want our young men to see that it's okay to do these things. And so we did some yoga with them. Our players stretched, told them the importance of stretching. And then we had 2 football camps with them to keep them moving. So we did one in the indoor, we did one in the stadium, which was really cool because those students got a chance to be in the stadium and run around and hit the bags and drive the sleds and different things like that. But there's something going on with health in your community. And with all 4 of these, I'm going to share, somebody's already doing that work in your community, right? You want to get with those people that are doing the work and see how you can serve. There may be a community 5K. There may be a community, hey, we're going to do this in a community. We're going to do this workout in a community. One thing that I created at one of the universities, I got to pull up, I always forget which one. But one thing I created at one of the universities I worked at is I was like, hey, why don't we do this as a football program? You know, we got our strength staff that can teach people the importance of strength training, you know, stretching, different things like that. We have our dietitian who can speak about being, you know, dietitian, how people eat, different things like that, nutrition. We have sports med that could talk about injuries, taking care of your body. And then we have our head coach, you know, provide a, you know, motivational speech or whatever it may be to people, right? And it's just like, man, we could do this health tournament. That would have been great. Like, you know, when I thought about it, like when I was creating this, I was like, this would be great. Like, we can do this in the community. Maybe we do it in our building. Maybe we don't. Who knows? Or maybe we do it on the field where people could just come, show up at a stadium one Saturday, and hey, you come to the. I did University of Houston. I created that plan at the University of Houston. You come to the Houston Football Community Health, whatever expo. So that's another area where you can create impact in your community. And the last area is hunger. Once again, there's people already doing the work where you're at. Find those people. But there are pantries, there are food drives, there are people that need help. And so when I was at the University of Kansas, there was an organization called Just Food. And they had a pantry for the Douglas County, the county we were in, and they needed a lot of help. We always were there moving food for them, moving crates, whatever it may be, helping them, helping people when people would come through and shop. Maybe people couldn't carry things. We were there to helping package things. There is, hunger is one of those things that it's everywhere. And what really shocked me was when I went to the Lawrences and the Wacos, I honestly did not think, because I grew up in Houston. I saw it in Houston my whole life. When I went to these other two universities, I didn't think that this would be something that these communities dealt with. But every community deals with hunger. And there's a lot of organizations that are doing great things there. And so you could partner with these organizations and create some massive impact. I want to let you know who's impacted the most out of all these areas. Your players. In all these areas, be it children, environment, health, and hunger, my players were impacted the most. To see, number one, that they can help someone. Some of them to get exposure, like, oh, wow, like this is happening this close to us. This is happening in the city. And some of them went from that and had a passion to continue the work. And like I said, there's people doing this work in the community you're in. You don't need to recreate the wheel, but they need you. They need your support. They need your bodies. They need your strength. And if some cases, if your program could give money, they need your money as well. And so you have a great opportunity to impact your community. So many of us ask the community. I know when I was a coach and I worked in a program, we want the community to come to games. Y'all need to come to games. We want your support. But does your community have your support? Those are 4 ways that you can impact your community. Once again, it's children, environment, health, and hunger. If you watch this and say, man, appreciate you so much for those 4 areas, but I need help creating a fleshed out community impact plan. There's a link in the show notes that says, here is how Beyond the Field can help you. Click that link, and I can't wait to work with you. As I always say, go out and create generational impact. Do not wait. Do not wait. You can create it today for someone in your community. Check out this video here that YouTube says is the best for you. I'm excited to see how you will impact your community. Have a good one.